All praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Rukah Kodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. I was doing a lesson and my video cut off on me. Who are you? Who are you? And over the lesson, we was going over the 12 tribes of Israel. We was going over the 12 tribes of Israel from Genesis chapter 49. Explaining who Judah is, who Ephraim is, the Issacharites, who Benjamin is, who the Levites are, who the Simeon, the tribe of Simeon is, the Gadites, right? Okay, with this lesson, we're going to start back in Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. First and foremost, not paying attention. I got not paying attention to the law, statutes, and commandments of our Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. With that, I'm going to go to Exodus chapter 21, starting at verse 1. Now these are the judgments which thou set before them, that the Lord gave to his children, Israel, mainly the men of Israel. Verse 2, if thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. And America has brought in Hebrew slaves. I mean, necessarily they didn't buy us, but they used us for slavery, and it's been well over 7 years. So Esau Edom, you going off on that. Verse 3: if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. So when you become a slave as a man, that's how you know all this is pertaining to the man. Most of it is pertaining for the knowledge of us men, because we are the leaders of Israel. A man is supposed to be the head of his household, but under the construction or the reconstruction of Esau Edom, we don't have that position. Not all of us. Some of us still do, and us men that's in the truth, we're getting it back now, but in the right order. Verse 5: and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my wife, my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out. Hold on. Verse 4: if his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. The same thing in this present day. That's one of the ways we're robbing the Lord, because a woman is owned by the father until a man comes along suitable enough to the father's conditions, and he pays the father whatever the father wants him to pay him in order to have the hand of his daughter in marriage. At the same time, his daughter has to be a virgin. She can't be sleeping around with every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the world. Esau Edom, thank you again for fucking everything up. All right. Verse 5: and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out. Verse 6: then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So the servant don't want to go out. Unlike what happened with our forefather Jacob, he had served slavery or workmanship under Laban for his daughter. It was supposed to be was it Rachel? My apologies, Slakia. You know, for one of his daughters, I know it was Leah, then it was Rachel, and he worked the first 7 years, and Laban had kind of tricked him, and he said, "Well, you can't have the last without having the first daughter." So he married the first daughter, and he worked an extra 7 years because Laban was blessed through the workmanship of Jacob. So, you know, he kept him an extra 7 years for the hand of his younger daughter. You know, and after that, he was set free. You know, with his daughters. I mean, with his wife and wives. You know, and all the riches that Jacob occurred over the 14 years. Verse 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as men servants do. I'm going to jump down to verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. So as a man, you have the opportunity, the obligation to check on your wife, make sure she's okay. Your duty of obligation to make sure she's satisfied. You know, verse 11, and if he do not these three things unto her, then she go out free without money. Verse 12, he that smiteth a man so that he die shall surely be put to death. Like nowadays, you got all these dudes that's fighting and killing over women. You supposed to be put to death, man. If you can't simply let her go on by her way, which she's not supposed to marry anymore, she's supposed to come back to you and be reconciled. But, you know, she go off and she marry another man, you can't get back with her. Just let it go. Nowadays, there's at least 7 women to one man. So what's your problem? Spend more time focusing on the Lord. That's how you robbing him. In tithes and in offerings. You're not paying no tithes. You're not giving no offerings. You're not paying attention, taking the time out to buy without money. The water, the wine, the honey, the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Spend more time with him as men, young men, old men too. That's what your main obligation should be. Excuse me, man, slurring. Verse 12 again. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall be surely put to death. And if a man lay not in wait, but God deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee. Yeah, you know, it was written, if a man so please the Lord, he will escape. You know, he will set a way for the man to escape out of that obligation or the contract of being with a wicked woman. You know. Let's get back to it. Who are you? Who are you? I'm gonna go back to Malachi. Starting at chapter. I'm gonna jump down to chapter 13. No, hold on, verse 11. And I will rebuke hold on. Verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. By doing our best to focus on the Lord, he will provide all things for us. Job, a roof over your head, food, and raiment. You know, those are the main blessings that a man really needs to survive. Anything else is just added on. All right? Verse 11. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes. So all the way what's that? Depression, uh, being in debt, uh, any form, anything in this world that will devour you, that will take away from you, your money, your health, your joy, your happiness. You know, and that could come in the forms of all things. Your children, your women, your family members. He say, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground. As written in Deuteronomy 28, the curse that's been against us. You know, that the fruit of our basket and our ground was going to be destroyed. You know, and this is Malachi. This is one of the last prophets. All this time the Lord has been working with us. And 2/3 of us still don't want to get it right, huh? Verse 11 again, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground. Neither shall your vine cast her fruits before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. Verse 12, and all nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Verse 4, stout, meaning, like you said, against me. You know, you're talking shit. You don't believe his word. You don't believe in being rebuked. You don't believe in correcting your mistakes. You don't believe in getting checked. You know, you got it all. You know what you're doing, right? Stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Verse 14, ye have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinances, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? Because you want to party. You don't want to take into accountability the Sabbath day, remembering it to keep it holy. The holy days, any of his ordinances, the laws. I believe it's 661, 16 or 61. But they're not laws that violate us, unlike the laws that we deal with now in this current society. All the Lord's laws and commandments, which we're supposed to hold up, right, keep us being that wise nation. Keep us being that wise, intelligent nation, how to operate. Circumcising your sons so they don't get sick. Not eating abominable things. Pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, octopus, to keep us from getting sick. Fasting, to build up our spirit, man, to keep us from being sick. I believe that's it for now. Yeah. So that's the children of Israel, man. I want the Lord wait for us to come back. Hold on, let me keep going. And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. So yeah, now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. All our drug dealers, gangsters, thugs, pimps, you name it. Even working in these some of these places. You know, even working in some of these places, they're set up. You know, they it look like they got it going on, and it look like the Lord is delivering them. Like they okay with it. That's just a stumbling block. You know, that's the Lord putting the blinders on For one, you don't want to see his words. His word has to be true. So 1/3 of us have to make it through the fire, and the other 2/3 have to be destroyed. Period, point blank. Verse 16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. What's his name? Is it Jehovah? Is it Jesus? Is it Yahweh? Is it Yahshua? No. In the Hebrew, it's Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shah. A book of remembrance. He gave us a book of remembrance. Verse 17. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. In verse 18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. With that, we're going to go to Luke chapter 19. Luke chapter 19. Starting at verse 27. Luke chapter 19, starting at verse 27. But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them utterly. Yeah. That's what's going to happen to the ones that don't want to serve God. Verse 18 again in Malachi 3, verse 18. Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. Those are going to be the hopeful elect, the 1/3. The 144,000 men is going to reign on side of or with Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, and in the tabernacle of King David. To bring justice, righteous justice to this world again. The whole world. For the first world will be destroyed. This world, Esau Edom's world, will be destroyed. Speaking of Esau Edom, who are you? All right. Let's get Psalms 83. Psalms 83. Keep not thou silence, O God. Starting at verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. The enemies. We just read in Luke. Whoever don't come and serve the Lord, bring before me, and slay them utterly. In Malachi, you know, he gave his dominion or his heritage to his men to discern between good and evil. And these are some of our enemies right here. Verse 2 again in Psalms 83. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. They're getting riled up. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4. Who are the hidden ones? Israel. The children of Israel. What we just went through, who you are in the first lesson. Who you are, who are you? That's Israel. All the 12 tribes. And the speckled bird that's been spread out through all other nations. Right? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon, Amalek. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, which are the Canaanites. The Philistines of Tyre, Canaanites. And so on and so forth. The list of the ones that consulted against Israel, that put us on the bottom and prayed and hoped that we would stay on the bottom, lied to us about the Bible all of our life, until the Lord sent the brothers and the apostles of the great millstone and the elders before them that taught them the truth of the Bible in the spirit through the Ruach HaKodesh. Right? Let's get Obadiah. Obadiah, starting at chapter 1. Obadiah chapter 1, starting at verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus says the Lord God, concerning Edom, concerning Esau Edom, the so-called white man or redneck man. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is set among the heathen. Arise, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? All the time, man. As Elder Amawad Abad say, I'm proud to be an American. So prideful. Who dwelleth in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high. You know, you go downtown, you see how they living. You see how they living. Right? You know, and most of the people that don't, that go against the word, they don't really study for themselves. They don't pick up the Bible, go word for word, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. They don't do that. That's a good one. They don't do that. They just go by what some pastor, preacher, or their feelings and their emotions about things. They don't get a chance to get into the whole scriptures to get it to get it, man. Blessed is he that read. You know, remember that. Blessed is he that read in Revelations. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, who exalt thyself as the eagle? From Rome to Germany to over here in America, the bald eagle. Who exalts thyself as the eagle? And though they set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Who has put their nest amongst the stars? Their spaceships, their satellites, so on and so forth. Their helicopters, airplanes. And when he come back, he's going to bring them down, man. Y'all going to go to war with the Lord. You done lost your rabbit mind, man. Verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Y'all can't leave one enough alone, well enough alone. Y'all can't, man. Y'all won't do it. You went over there to Iraq. You stole all their oil. And still to this day. What's that? Libya. You came over here to the so-called Americas to take the land from Gad and Simeon. You destroyed most of them, you know, and you give them a little reservation where they still gotta pay. I don't know if they have to pay taxes, but they still have to pay for y'all the food to live, to get by. You know, you ain't gonna leave nothing for nobody. You want everything. Who is that talking about? Who runs and control the earth right now? Esau, Edom. Who else fits that prophecy? Who are you? There's one more one I wanted to get. Verse 6 again. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 6 again. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, say the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? They don't know what to do anymore. In that day, you know, and a day, I believe, one day to the Lord is as 1,000 days to us here. So during this whole time, man, it's been like that in the heavens to the Lord. To us, it's been years, generations, decades, on top of decades or whatever. But to the Lord, it's like he just winked his eye. And now, his prophecies are coming to light. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. I want to get this. It's probably right here, though. Nope, actually it's in Nahum. We're going to go to Nahum chapter 3. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will destroy thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Let's go to Obadiah 7 again. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under her. There is none understanding in him. The same thing Nahum chapter 3 verse 5 is talking about. It's the same thing Obadiah chapter 1 verse, 7 is talking about. It's the same thing Psalm chapter 83, verse 4 or 5 is talking about. It all goes together, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Esau, you've been in a trick bag. You played your part well, a little too well. There's no mistaking who you are. And who are you? Right? Let's get this before we go a little, any further. Cause yeah, man, I want to get on you. I want to get on you Hamites. I'm gonna give you Hamites. First, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh no, I'll wait for that. Let's go to Genesis. I'm gonna go to Genesis 28, verse 9 first. Then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives, which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to be his wife. So Esau started, getting with the other women. Starting at Ishmael. That's not it though. Let's go to Genesis chapter 36, verse 2. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan. Adah, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, and Ahalabama, the daughter of Hannah, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hivite. What's a Hittite? These are daughters of Canaan that Esau also mingled himself with. That's why you so-called, and Canaan, let's get it. Canaan is the so-called Africans. All right, let's get it. Hamites. Where are the Hamites? Hamites, African people of Caucasoid descent, who occupied the Horn of Africa. They are believed to be the original settlers of North Africa. Right? They are believed to be the original settlers of North Africa. I thought I had more. But African people of Caucasoid descent. Caucasoid. Caucasians. Right? Dwelling in caves. And we just read in Genesis chapter 36, verse 2, how Esau took on African wives from Ham, the daughters of Canaan. Canaan had four, I had that somewhere right here. Canaan had four daughters. Let's see if I can find it, man. I'll do like this. Do it like this. Oh shit, man. I mean, cause shit, man. Them Hamites, they do the same things Esau do. Bati boy shit, man. You know what I mean? Benjamin. Bati boy shit. You know? They're fucking each other in the ass. The Hamites, some Africans, man. That shit go against our laws, our rules. We ain't even built like that. But now you get a lot of 2/3 out there from the northern kingdoms, tribes, and the southern kingdom tribes. Out there bati boying it up. You know, there's a judgment for all of that bullshit, man. That's it, man. I'm pretty much gonna cut it off right there, yo. So you know who you are. Let me see if I get this Hamite thing though, man. If I get this Hamite thing so that we have a better understanding, man. Here we go. Let's try this one. It's kind of long. Come on, man. Don't take that long. I gotta get ready to get some stuff done. I'm going back. Forget it. Taking all day long. So I'm just read this little headline. The generations of Noah, also called the tables of nations, which you can read in generation, but such as Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is the descendants, or the descendants of Ham can be traced back to his 4 sons: Cush of Ethiopia, Mizraim of Egypt, Put of Libya, and lastly Canaan. And the Canaanites are believed to be the first people in Israel before the Lord had sent Abraham over there to push them out. You know, and then after that, his other sons and daughters, they came from the line of Shem to push them Canaanites out. That's our land, the land of Israel. And you know, you can go back to when the prophets had asked the Lord Yahushua, when will be the last days? You know, and his coming again. He told them, be not deceived. And when that day come, when the Romans pass the threshold, that y'all go into the mountains. In the mountains, where we from in Israel, if you go over the mountains, you're going to end up in Africa. The same place Moses went, where he became a prince or king of Egypt. Over those same mountains. And we descended from Egypt on down all across the Americas. And the Africans, let me see if I can find this right quick. And the Africans they didn't care about us. They like, man, who these people coming over here thinking they got it like this? Because we were, you know, guided by our laws, statutes, and commandments and the Lord, you know, giving us the truth. You know, we were industrious people. Check this out, though.
So I'm in the cab. The motherfucking cab driver had the audacity to turn around and say, "You're not too rich, you know, black man." You want to run that by me again, bro? I said, "You're not too rich, you know, black man." I said, "How black I gotta be, motherfucker? Just cause you one of the niggas that got away?" Because white people, when y'all ancestors came to pick us up, y'all wasn't looking for little bony brothers. Y'all was looking for big, cotton-picking motherfuckers. And them little bony ones over in Africa set us up. You don't want me. Look at me, cough at a time, got one nut. Shambuku over there, big and strong. Me seen him pick up a whole oak tree by himself. I help you catch him. So I'm in the cab. The motherfucking cab driver had.
And that's how we got over here. What he don't understand is there's a difference between Hamites and Shemites. There's a difference between so-called Africans and so-called the Africans, Mizraim, the Canaanites, the Hamites, and Israel. You know, that's why we, from our elders on down, being taught by elders, we could care less about the whole black movement, the African movement, African American movement. All that shit don't concern us. You know, we're a people before we're a place. You know, that's why we go by Israel. And Israel has 12 different tribes, nations of people coming together to make one tribe, one nation. As written in Ezekiel 37. How the Lord going to bring us back together. Including Speckled Bird. And with that, man, I'm going to say, hopefully till next time, man, y'all endure. And we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. And double honors again to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone for teaching us this truth in all sincerity. You know, until then, man, shalom to the 1/3. Shalom.